season 2 is right around the corner, and I want to go through every single character and suggest a change that could buff them, nerfs, and also just make them more fun. So we'll go ahead and get this thing started in alphabetical order, and we will start off with Adam Warlock. Adam Warlock is in a really good place right now. I think he does good damage. He's hit scan, so he can take care of those flyers. He does good damage up close when you hold his alternate fire. His healing is not the strongest, but it's enough. And he also has the ability to self-heal. His soulbound, which is one of the strongest abilities in the game. I mean, you can stop ults with it. It's really good as long as you're with your team. And also he has a very strong passive, not to mention his team up, which allows him, Mantis, and Star-Lord to self-res. Like, that's so strong. Right now he's seeing a lot of play in the higher ranks as well as the Pro League. You know, I think he has probably the top 3 team ups in the game for sure. A change I would like to see with Adam Warlock is actually tick up his usage for his heals. Right now it's at 2. I'd like to see that go up to 3, but drop the amount of healing by just a tad. So this will allow him to, you know, when he gets into a sticky situation, when you got tanks low and stuff like that, allow him to heal them a little bit more often. Also, when he gets dove in the back line, it will also allow him to hang in there a little bit longer and self-heal, so he can kind of defend himself. Because Adam Warlock, his weakness is he has no movement ability at all. He can't get away. He has to stay there and fight. So if he's not going to have any movement, he has to be able to self-heal, and he also has to have good damage up close. It's a struggle to fight in the backline when you're getting dove and stay alive with Adam Warlock. So I think that'd be a good change. If they're going to take away his team up, that definitely needs to happen. If they keep his team up, I probably wouldn't suggest that change. I'd probably look at something different. But if they're going to take away his team up, I definitely think giving him the ability to self-heal more often, and then also heal his team more often, but reduce the amount of heals, will make him more of an important healer. Because right now, your Invisible Women, your Luna Snow, your Loki, they put out so much healing. It's always difficult to go Adam Warlock when you don't have a Star-Lord and Mantis with you on your team. So I like to see him be more independent and not rely on that team up as much. Moving on to Black Panther. As soon as he runs out of his dash, he's toast. So I think a good BP change would be to let him start off with 2 dashes. Okay, let him start off with 2 dashes, and maybe extend the dash distance just a tad. Not much. I know in low ranks, a Black Panther will destroy supports. Even when you get up there to like GM, a good BP will really destroy your backline. However, once you make the necessary counter picks, he kind of just falls off the map. I think his team up, you don't really see it as often. Like, I never see a BP and a Magik together. I don't ever see him using the team up because I don't really think it's that good. So maybe looking at a new team up with him. I think BP right now is, he just needs that small buff. Moving on, we have Black Widow, who I think is in a very, very weak spot right now. Her ability to not one-shot squishies. Her sprint and jump's a joke. Her ultimate is a joke. Her kick is good, but it doesn't stun them long enough to consistently hit that headshot. And so right now, if you dive a Black Widow, I mean, you're pretty much done. There's a lot of changes I would make to Black Widow. You can do a lot of things. I think allow her to one-shot squishies. It's already hard enough to land those headshots from far away. I think if you can reward great accuracy and allow her to one-shot squishies, I think that would definitely help her out a lot. If you're not going to go that route, then allow her to take follow-up shots faster. Because right now with Black Widow, if you get a headshot, it's very hard to follow up with another shot by the time that person gets healed. Right now, out of all of the poke characters, she's the worst, 100%. She just does not fit in the meta right now. I would probably rework her ult. Her ultimate is awful. I would give her a zip line too. I would give her some type of movement ability to help avoid dive characters. Something like how Moon Knight has. Like, Moon Knight has the ability to dash out of there and, you know, change his location. Right now, Black Widow, she's just awful from the top down, and they really screwed her over too. Like, she is just bad. So moving on, we have Captain America, who I think he does his role really well. And if you play a really good Captain America, they can stall. But I think right now, he doesn't do a lot of damage. If he has one of the best survivabilities in the game, I'm okay with him not doing a lot of damage. However, give him a team up to put out a little bit more damage. Whatever that team up is, you know, you have plenty of Avengers he could maybe have a team up with, but give him a team up that's probably like on a 15 to 20 second cooldown that will allow him to put out a little bit more damage, because right now he's just a distraction, and I don't know if that's worth playing him. I think especially when you're a strategist and you see a Captain America in your backline, you don't feel threatened at all. It's just, he's just a gnat. He's just an annoying gnat. So adjust his team up. I think his kit itself works, but give him a team up that allows him to put out more damage, and maybe change his ultimate. Give him an ultimate that supports the team somehow. I don't know how you could adjust it. Maybe make the AoE trail a little bit bigger. He just needs a buff that will allow him to find a place in the Vanguard meta. Cloak and Dagger. This was a character that you would see almost every single game in season 1. Now at 1.5, I think she's fallen off the cliff a little bit. With how high and often you see a Magneto, her ultimate gets canceled a lot. I think she still has a lot of value and she has a place in the meta currently. However, I don't think many people are going to pick her over Invisible Woman, Loki, and Luna Snow. I just don't. I think she does good healing. I think her healing is fine. Her bubble's still strong. And I know they had a patch a few weeks ago that adjusted her healing. But I think they could increase her damage a little bit. She's a character that can heal really well, and she has decent damage. If you increase her damage a little bit, I think you might see a little bit more Cloak and Daggers. I think they should take a look at her team up right now with Moon Knight. I don't know how strong it is, and Moon Knight's pick rate is so low right now. Moon Knight's really bad. We'll get to him later, but I think they need to figure out a new team up with her, and if they do that, then she will rise up on the charts. But right now, I don't see how you would pick her over Invisible Woman, Loki, and Luna Snow. Moving on to Doctor Strange. This was the Vanguard that I hated so much when I started grinding the game. He brought so much value. His kit, amazing. Survived for a long time. His shield, his portals, one of the best abilities in the game. And this is an easy one. You want to talk about low-hanging fruit? If you don't pick Strange at the beginning of the game and you swap to him later, there should be a 12-second cooldown to his portal ability. I think right now what you're seeing with Strange, and he's still good. Even if you pick him, he's still good. However, that portal swap that everybody does in the higher ranks just feels cheap. There should be no reason why you lose a fight and you switch to a character and get to the point like that. 12-second cooldown I think is fine. Take that walk and then give him the ability to portal the next fight. Other than that, I think Doctor Strange is in a good place. He serves his purpose. He's not picked as often. I think people are leaning towards Magneto, but if I have a Strange on my team, I still feel safe. I still feel secure, and I think he has the ability to get the job done. Moving on to Groot, a character who sees a ton of play right now in the high ranks and also in the pros right now. Groot is one of those characters who he's the Vanguard with the most health. His walls are super strong. I mean, the amount of HP on the walls themselves is so much. And his ultimate, very, very good. So I think a good change for Groot right now, considering that they're not going to give him a decent team up, because his team up right now is probably the worst in the game. I don't see many Jeffs or Rockets hanging on his shoulder to give him that damage reduction. So right now, I think a good change for Groot would be to adjust his ult. I think it can go a little too far. So he should have to put himself at a little bit of risk to use his ult. And also that allows the enemy team to get some type of indication he's going to use his ult. It's just like Moon Knight when he would kill everybody with his ult in 0.2 seconds. There was no indication that he was using his ult. And I think Groot has that same thing. So Groot should have to walk up to you, and it should be almost like a drop grenade or something like that. Right now, his ultimate, you can shoot his ultimate pretty far right now. And so I think adjusting that range on that will kind of give the enemy team an indication like, hey, Groot's gonna ult here in a second. Maybe we can get an Invisible Woman push, or maybe we can have a strategist pop their ult to kind of counter it. But right now his ultimate is very strong, and you pair that with a Namor ult and you're just wiping teams. If you wanted to change them also a little bit, maybe weaken up his walls a little bit. They take a lot of damage. They're a little bit difficult to get rid of. So adjust his walls and definitely adjust his ultimate. I think he can shoot it way too far. And even with that change, I think Groot is still good. So it's a small change. Again, this is a low-hanging fruit change. Hawkeye. This is a character that I've been trying to pick up and learn because I see the strength in this character. He was a monster when I first started in season 1 and at the end of season 0. He's kind of toned down a little bit, and I think he's in a really good spot. So I don't know if I'd make an adjustment to Hawkeye. If you were to make any adjustments, I would say maybe his secondary fire on his arrows need to change. Right now they're used mainly to like destroy the environment, and I don't know if you want an ability in a game to just destroy environment. I think it should be used to, you know, do a little bit of damage on characters. You know, it's a good ability. It just doesn't do any. It's just like nothing. It doesn't do anything. I don't know if they can tighten up the arrows on it, because I think they go so wide it doesn't hit. You might hit one arrow, one character. It just doesn't do anything. And so I think if you wanted an easy win, you adjust that secondary fire. I mean, I would say that's it. I think Hawkeye's a pretty good character in general. I don't really necessarily think he needs that buff. However, it would just make him feel a little bit better. Moving on to Hela, who I think is maybe the best DPS in the game right now. Hela is one of those characters that she's good, yes. However, you need to hit your shots. So if you're not hitting your shots, Hela's not good. I think that's obvious, but I don't want to nerf a character just because they're good in high ranks or in pro league. I want to make adjustments to characters that make sense. And Hela takes a lot of skill to use. You just can't pick up Hela and do well. I want that to remain the same. However, I don't really know what other adjustments you can make to her. I think right now she's really good, and she counters a lot of flyers. So if you have anything, put down in the comments. I think a team up adjustment, maybe just because how common you see Loki's, you're always using that team up. I think right now Hela's in a good spot, regardless of how much she's picked right now. I think she's in a good spot. Moving on to Hawk, and Hawk has kind of fell off the map a little bit, especially with the introduction of the Thing. I don't think we're seeing as many Hawks right now, and I don't know if it's because they're getting, you know, gunned down by Helas. I don't know why, but every now and then you'll come across a really good Hawk, but I don't really see much Hawks anymore. And not only that, but he's not really banned often either. I don't think he needs a buff right now. I think he's in a good place. I would say maybe adjust his team up a little bit, or allow him to have his shield up a little longer, because right now he can get out of there. He's good at diving your back line and getting out. I think right now his shield it's good. I don't think it's awful, but I just don't know why people aren't playing the Hulk. I just don't know. I don't know if it's because the Thing adds a little bit more value. I don't know if it's because his ultimate doesn't pop up as much. I don't really see many Hawks now, but maybe an adjustment to his shield or a team up could kind of put him a little bit back in the meta. But either way, I would say Hulk right now he's in a good place. I think there's just the other tanks right now are so good that you just don't see Hulks as often. Human Torch, character's dog water. There are some good Human Torches out there that are raging. They're like, what are you talking about? No. He's garbage. And I'm not going to change my mind about that. With how often Hela's picked, his damage, yes, I know got a buff. His dive, not good. He dives. If he doesn't kill who he's diving, he is going to die because it puts him in the fray and he cannot get out. His flying speed, very slow. Even with the ability to speed it up, it's still slow. How often Hela is picked, you get punished. So I think, and his ultimate is garbage. I think right now Human Torch can have a place in the meta, but he needs huge adjustments. And I would say probably one adjustment I would make on him to just kind of give him a little bit more value is change his ultimate. I would
personally want to see the tornadoes move a little bit or make them larger. But then it's like, oh, it kind of looks like storm mode a little bit. So you're in that kind of situation. So if you don't want to make the tornadoes move around and track players almost like Squirrel Girl's ult does, I would say make them bigger. Because right now his ult, you see it and you're just like, oh, let me just walk over here. Oh, there's a tornado there. Let me just walk over here. So I would say right now, Human Torch, one of the characters I was actually looking forward to, huge disappointment when he launched. So make some adjustments to his ult. And also, and this goes for all flyers, they need to make them move a little bit faster. I think right now, all the flyers, they don't play in the air ever. I never see flyers in the air. Human Torch is probably the flyer I see mostly in the air, but I never see an Iron Man in the air really. I see him behind his front line using his Unibeam. And Storm, obviously, I don't know if it's beneficial to play Storm in the air, but we'll get to that later. But speed up the flight speed on them, please. Moving on to Invisible Woman. I would say Invisible Woman right now is, one of the best strategists in the game. She offers a lot of utility in her kit. Her ability to push and pull enemies. Her vortex is really good at getting flyers out of the air. Her ultimate is good, and her invisible is good. I would say right now Invisible Woman is in a really good place, and I don't know if I would change her. She's not OP. I'll say that. She's not OP. Invisible Woman is not OP. I don't think Invisible Woman is broken. I don't know if I'd make a change to her though. I think right now she's in a good place. Iron Fist. This is another character that I wanted to learn, but they changed his abilities around, and now I don't know. I'm hearing that he's not as strong as he was before. But right now, Iron Fist, he just doesn't do enough damage. So I'm sure a lot of Iron Fist mains out there, there's a few changes that they want. I think a change that I'd like to see on Iron Fist is maybe an adjustment to his ability to absorb the damage. I don't know what it's called, forgive me, but he has the ability where he absorbs damage and then he can kind of output it. So maybe a change to that, or allow Iron Fist to do more damage to squishies, because right now him being this tank buster it just doesn't work out. His kit is just to get in, do some damage to tanks and get out. It's not like Wolverine where you can snatch him and bring him to your team and destroy a tank. Right now there's no reason to pick an Iron Fist, just pick Wolverine. So right now I think giving Iron Fist more damage, and then also taking a look at his absorbed damage output. I don't know what the ability is called, I'm sorry guys. Reflect, I don't know. Change that though. And then also maybe take a look at his team up. I don't know how useful the team up is. I don't really see it often, mainly because we don't see Iron Fist often, but maybe take a look at that as well. Moving on to Iron Man, a character who has gone through kind of a roller coaster. You've seen a lot of Iron Mans when there was a Strange Hulk team up, but right now you're not really seeing many Iron Mans in your games. Since the change to the team up, I don't think Iron Man has a place in the meta right now. And how popular Hela is, you just get beamed out of the air. So, like I mentioned before, there needs to be a change to the flying characters' speed. Right now, they're super slow in the air, which makes it easy for Hela to snipe them out of the air. The missiles, nobody uses them, they're pointless. Maybe adjust those a little bit. Maybe allow them to slow down enemies as they hit, or maybe give them a different team up next season. There's a lot of things you can do to Iron Man. I don't think he's the worst character in the game. He's just not the best. I don't think he has much value right now aside from his Unibeam, which is really good. I think that's a good change, but you just don't really see him as much anymore. Next on our list is the Jeff, the Land Shark. Players have really found value in Jeff, and I'm pretty impressed, honestly. Like the other day I was playing and I was Hela. I was going against a Jeff, and this Jeff whipped my ass. Like I could not hit him. His hitbox is so small. See, Jeff is tricky because he can survive. His survivability is really good because of how small his hitbox is and his movement. His ability as a healer, yes, it's not good. But on the other side, his ability to put out good damage on the backline works. The other problem is there's 2 spots for healers, sometimes 3. And I don't know if you're picking him over a Loki. I don't know if you're going to pick him over a Luna Snow. I don't know if you're going to pick him over an Invisible Woman. Adam Warlock. So I don't really know what adjustments you could really make to Jeff, other than maybe taking up his healing a tad bit. When you don't pick a Luna Snow and he doesn't have that extra ability, he does get a little bit weaker. But I think right now, Jeff DPS, his ability, his current hitbox, his ability to disrupt that backline, he's not in the best place, but I don't think he needs to change either. I think his ult is really good, but I just don't see him being picked over the other healers currently. Don't allow him to put out as much heals as the main healer. Still allow Jeff to be that off healer DPS character. Let him put out a little bit more healing. Loki, I've been waiting to get to this character. Oh my god, is this character strong. I know this video I said 1, however I think Loki needs like 3 or 4. So right now I think his clones have too much health. I think the lamps have too much health, which are the beacons, the green beacons, lamps, whatever you want to call them. His ultimate charge is too fast. He gets his ultimate way too fast, and the fact that you have the ability to pick whose ultimate you're going to copy, which I love the idea of it, is just too fast. He already has great survivability. He has the ability to go invisible. He can move around. Loki is very strong, and when you pair that with how often Hela's played as well, it makes him even stronger. Right now, the main change I want to see on Loki is the health pool on his lamps and the clones. Way too much. It's already bad enough that you have the clones that have their own health pool, then you have the lamps, they have their own health pool. It's just too much. And the lamps healing itself is like a small strategist ultimate. It's just way too much. And he gets them every 20 seconds. I think before you adjust how often he gets the lamps, let's tone down the amount of health that's on them first, as well as the clone. Moving on to Luna Snow, the other really good strategist in the game. I think she's top 3 for sure. Right now, I think Luna Snow is in a good place. I would say if there was one change, if you wanted to tone her down a little bit, I would probably say let's adjust her ult by 2 or 3 seconds. I think it lasts a little too long. And then also, if you want to make another change with Luna Snow, her ability to give one of your DPSs or tanks the orb that provides healing, maybe that expires in, I don't know, 15-20 seconds. That way that DPS or tank has to come back and she has to put it back on them. But right now, I think let's just stay with a small nerf to her ultimate, because I like her kit. Her freeze is fine. It's not broken. She's a good main healer. I don't want to adjust any of her healing abilities or anything like that, really. But the ultimate lasts a little bit too long. So let's adjust that by about 2 or 3 seconds. I think Luna Snow would be in a great place. Moving on to Magik. It's a character that sees a lot of bans in my games, at least. She's very strong. She gets her ultimate very fast. I don't know if it was a video I watched or a tweet or I saw it somewhere, but somebody mentioned something about getting rid of her invincibility frames when she uses her portal. I don't know if I'd go that far. Maybe her ability to port her distance, maybe adjust that. I like her ultimate. I don't think it needs an adjustment. I think it lasts perfect amount. I wouldn't touch her damage at all. I think her damage is in a good place. I think Magik is a fun character. I think she's pretty balanced right now. She's one of the best divers currently, but right now I don't know if I would make a change to her kit. Maybe give her a different team. All right, let's move on to Magneto, the best strategist in the game currently. He's picked almost every game I'm in, and then also in the pro league I think he had, I don't want to say 100% because I didn't watch all of the pro games, but every game that I saw there was a Magneto, and for a good reason. His ability to bubble all characters himself, his damage output, his ultimate, which is really strong at countering other ults as well as shutting down some of the strategist ults. He's just a very strong character right now. And I would probably say with Magneto, I think a change for Magneto would maybe take a look at his bubble. I think it should have a health pool like Invisible Woman's shield does. Obviously not as much, not 300. I would probably say like 100. And the reason why I say that is because it should not be able to save you from an ultimate. I think that's so strong. I think it should be used diligently to reduce the amount of damage your backline receives or a character receives, but it should not be able to eat a ultimate and protect you from it. And so I think we start off with small changes with Magneto, because right now I don't want to make too many adjustments to the main tanks, because I think with there not being many, I don't want to see tanks, one, not be fun because people already don't like playing tanks, but also two, there's only about 3 main tanks in the game. And so if we nerf all of the main tanks, because we're already looking at nerfing Groot a little bit, I don't want to see a meta where the main tanks are just unplayable. So let's adjust this bubble a little bit, maybe change it to an invisible woman system where it has a health pool itself, and we'll go from there. Moving on to Mantis, and I think Mantis is actually pretty balanced, has a really good team up, does good damage. I would probably say the only change I would make to Mantis is maybe her healing, just make it a little bit better. It's a little too slow. Other than that, I would not touch her kit at all. Oh, I'm tripping. Her ultimate. She definitely probably has the weakest ultimate out of all the strategists. I'm trying to think. Yes, I'll probably say so. It's funny because I almost feel like she should have Luna Snow's ultimate because it's in her kit to provide DPS bonuses to players. And so I almost think that they should almost switch ultimates. Kind of crazy. But yeah, maybe take a look at her ultimate. It's not as good as everybody else. So if you want to make an adjustment, take a look at her ultimate. Mr. Fantastic, a character who when they first came out, I thought was broken just because of his health and how good his survivability was. But boy, was I wrong. Mr. Fantastic really doesn't see play much, and mainly because the thing launched and he does everything he does better. His recent change, a lot of Mr. Fantastic mains did not like it. So right now, a change I would like to see on Mr. Fantastic is the ability to just output damage on the front line. Like right now, he just does not do enough damage, and he doesn't have anything to protect him from pokers. So if he's not providing good damage, he's just not going to be good. Another change I would like to see is maybe an adjustment to his ult. Still pretty bad even with the buff to the damage. Maybe give him a second team up. I know he has the Fantastic Four team up. Give him another team up with somebody else. I don't know who. Maybe somebody else in the Fantastic Four, just to give him a little bit more value. Right now, Mr. Fantastic is just not a good character, and I would not pick him over the Thing. I would pick him over anybody, honestly. Moving on to Moon Knight, another character who, when I first started playing, I thought was OP, which he was. His ultimate was broken. Right now, though, with the change to his ultimate, I think he is one of the weaker DPS in the game. Even when you have a team that's stacked together, he does a lot of damage, but he also feeds strategist ults. An adjustment I would make to Moon Knight off the rip would give him a second zip line. Right now, when you get dove by any character in the game that has the ability to dive, he is toast. Like there's nothing he can do. The first thing you try to do is throw an onk down on the ground and try to put out damage, but a lot of times it doesn't happen. The second change, there has to be something better you can do with this ultimate, because right now, like before it was broken and you had no time to react. Now I feel like it's just not that good. Maybe the community just isn't using it correctly, but I don't really get killed in Moon Knight ults like that unless it's paired with the Groot. But most people are going to go ahead and play Namor and use Namor's ult because it's a lot better. So right now, Moon Knight, let's just adjust his ability to navigate throughout the map. Let's give him a second grappling hook usage, and then work slowly to kind of bring him up in the meta, because right now I just don't think he has a place right now. And yeah, Moon Knight right now is not very good. Namor, super strong right now, seen in all games in higher ranks, even lower ranks. Seen him in Pro League, he's picked almost every game. Pairs well with Groot, has great survivability. His health is really high. I think it's like 275, 250. I'm trying to remember. I think it's like 250. Turret super strong. The Luna team up really good. Ultimate really good. He just doesn't have a weakness. And I still want him to provide the anti-dive value that he does have. So I don't want to see any adjustments there. However, let's take a look at his turrets. Let's adjust the range on those. I think they go, I don't know how far they shoot, but there's been times it's like 30 meters away and I'm on point, and it's like turrets in the back line and they're shooting me. He needs to have a distinct role. And right now, your ability to protect your back line from diving, your ability to even flank and attack the other enemy's back line, the ability to stop ults in his bubble, his ultimates, which pairs really well with Groot, and you can kill a whole team with it. He definitely needs a nerf, but I still want to see the value of protecting your backline. I still want that to be a thing. Let's just take a look at how far his turrets shoot, and maybe a small adjustment to the speed of his spear throws, because I think right now how much damage they do is super easy to kind of hit somebody from far away. So maybe adjust the speed on those a little bit, slow them down, make it a little bit harder. Maybe you gotta lead your shots a little bit more. But right now, there's a ton of things you could do Namor to kind of nerf him a little bit. Any of them is fine, but I think we start with the turrets. Let's bring down the range on those a little bit. Moving on to Peni Parker, a tank that I honestly think needs a rework. I know there are some very good pennies out there. There's some good spots you could put the mines on, but I think, and tell me what you guys think about this in the comments, I think Peni Parker would actually be, if you rework her kit a little bit, I think she would actually be a good strategist. And let me explain why. You're never gonna really pick Peni over any of the tanks right now. She's definitely the weakest. So she's really not gonna see much play there. However, if we tune her webs, maybe change her abilities some to where she can put out more webs on the ground. I think her as a strategist, and you buff the healing on it, obviously, I think her as a strategist could work. She could be an anti-dive strategist. Because right now I play on console, and I'm like in GM, I'm in between GM1 and Celestial 3. Divers on console, it's really good. Especially if you're playing with randoms, like the dive comp, so good right now. And I think mainly because you usually only have a Namor, but if he gets banned, you don't really see much pennies. And moving her to the strategist role and adjusting some of her abilities, so you would also obviously have to adjust her hitbox, maybe make her a little bit smaller. It would take a lot of work. I understand that, but I think she would fit into the strategist role really well. I think the only reason why she's in the tank category is just because she's big and has a lot of health. Her kit really doesn't scream, I'm a tank. So I would like to see her in the strategist role. Psylocke. I think Psylocke is actually in a good place right now. I don't think Psylocke is broken, and I don't think she's bad. I think she's in a good spot. I would give her, like, if I had to put her in a tier list, she'd be an A. Like, Psylocke is good. I think her kit is fine. I think her ultimate is fine. And I think the problem with Psylocke currently is that there's other DPS that just are better than her that you're always going to pick, because I mean, you have Namor, who's, if there's a Luna, you would probably pick Namor over a Psylocke. If there's a Hela, you're probably going to pick her. Bucky, you're probably going to pick him. So there's not really a place for Psylocke right now, but she's good. And if you're a good Psylocke main, you can do damage. You can be effective. Her ability to play off angles, get out, disrupt the back line with her ult, like, she's really good. So if you were to make any adjustment to Psylocke right now, it would probably be a team up. You know, give her a different team up that pairs with another character that is played often, and that will allow Psylocke to find a place in the middle. All right, moving on, we have the Punisher. This is a character who I think is in a good place right now. However, in season 2, if they decide to remove the Rocket team up, I think he will fall off drastically. And so if we're gonna remove the team up with Rocket, I think we need to take a look at his zipline. For one, I think the zipline change should happen regardless of the Rocket team up, because that zipline, I find it to be clunky. And what I mean by clunky is I shoot it somewhere on the wall, it doesn't work. And I shoot it here on the wall and it works, and I'm not expecting it to work. So there needs to be some type of indicator or something like that that says, hey, when you shoot the zipline, it's going to connect and you're going to be fine. I think we can take a look at his smoke ability. I think it's one of the weaker abilities on the game. I don't know what we can do with it. Maybe allow him to create more distance. Maybe the smoke stays up longer. Maybe if you hit an enemy with a smoke, it provides that distortion effect to help protect him from divers. But I think overall, if you're going to keep the Rocket team up, I think he'll still be in that good place. Moving on to the Thing, who I find to be very fun to play and also very valuable. Right now, with how often you see a Magneto and how often you see a Strange, he can destroy a front line. Hell, he can destroy a back line. The only small adjustment I would make to the Thing, I would actually make two small adjustments. One, I would tone back the amount of chances he can use his ultimate. I think right now his ult charge is, you get it pretty fast. Like, you get it pretty fast. You can use it often. Maybe give a player more of a harder decision when to use the ultimate. And the second thing I would do with the Thing is ability to run around and he does the stomp. Sorry, again, I don't know what the ability's called. It needs to remove the movement ability longer. I think it's like a second. If you're at the thing and you are able to get off that last stomp on that ability, that character should not be able to use any movement abilities for like 2 to 3 seconds. Like increase that by a few seconds, help protect your back line. And then you have Thing, who has a place. He can help draw on the front line, but also protect a lot of your characters on the back line, your Cloaks, your Lokis, your Luna Snows. So I like the Thing. I like where he's at in the meta currently. Sees a lot of play, but I would make those 2 small adjustments and I'd put him really in line with all of the other changes that I want. Rocket Raccoon, a character who a lot of people would rage over if you picked, especially earlier in season 1. But I think now he's grown on a lot of people. It's funny how we see characters throughout the season, because a lot of characters that were really good, like Moon Knight I mentioned earlier, you would love to see a Moon Knight on your team because his ultimate was so good. And now it's like somebody picks Moon Knight, it's like, no, please. And kind of works with that with Rocket as well. Like when you would see a Rocket, people would instantly rage and throw. It happened to me. But now I don't mind having a Rocket on my team as long as we have another main healer. He's a good off healer, off strategist, whatever you want to call it. His damage is good. His res ability is good. I think the duration on it is perfect. His ultimate is good. I would say probably give him a little bit better team up. Maybe not a team up ability, but give him the team up bonus, maybe healing bonus or something like that. But other than that, I think he's in a good spot. Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch in lower ranks will destroy a enemy team. But I think when you climb the ranks, you get a lot of Scarlet Witch mains who main her throughout lower ranks, and they get to higher ranks. They find out that it's not as good. Doesn't do enough damage. Her ultimate's trash. Her abilities aren't that good. The stun isn't really that good. It's easy to get out of. And then also her left click, while yes, you have 4, I think it's like 4 of them, they're not really the best. So a change I would like to see with Scarlet Witch: buffer damage. Don't touch her movement ability really. I think her having 2 of those is fine. You buffer damage should be a lot better. I understand that she's a character who doesn't have to aim, and I think a lot of people are afraid. If you have a character that doesn't have to aim and they do a lot of damage, you kind of run into that, well, where's the skill gap, right? But I think right now she just doesn't do enough damage to add any value. And the value that she does provide, which is usually on the back line, Spider-Man, Black Panther, there's just characters right now in the game that I would rather pick. Like, I'm not going to pick a Scarlet Witch over Namor, because Namor just provides more. Maybe look at buffing her damage. Hell, I mean, the ultimate still not good. I don't know if you want to maybe increase the speed at which she can move during her ult. You can kind of maneuver a little bit better. Like, you can pop it from behind cover and then get into a good position to bring a lot of value out of it. But right now, I would say buff her damage. Let's start with the damage buff and we'll move from there. But I almost forgot to mention her team up to Magneto is very good. However, if I'm Magneto, I would never ask for a Scarlet Witch for the ability. Even though it's good, I would rather have a player pick someone that they're good with rather than them go Scarlet Witch just for the sword ability on Magneto. Moving on to Squirrel Girl, who I need to learn how to play because I've slowly realized her ability to impact the game. He can disrupt diving tanks. Like, if you have a Squirrel Girl and there's a Venom in your backline, you're going to destroy him. Wait for him to pop his armor ability. As soon as he pops his armor ability, you stun him in place, destroyed. Same with the Thing. Like, she has a lot of value and she doesn't really see much play. Part of the reason I feel like she doesn't really see much play is just because she doesn't have that good burst potential, especially if you're shooting at characters in the front line. Depending on where you're at, obviously, depending on what mode you're playing, it's very hard to get shots on the back line. Her ultimate, it's good if you can flank and find a advantageous position to pop it. I think now players are finding a way to kind of beat it by just focus firing it. But a good Squirrel Girl can provide a lot of value, a ton of value. And I think she's really good at handling Groot walls, which you see tons of Groots nowadays in the meta. So a change I would make to Squirrel Girl. I think my issue with Squirrel Girl is I want to be able to shoot her. Now gonna make me say it. I want to have the ability to shoot her nuts, but control when they explode. and that gives it just feels random to shoot her nuts sometimes, and I want to have more control over when they explode, and that will allow me to get more damage where I want it at. Especially when you're like getting dove, you shooting at the ground and it's bouncing. It just doesn't feel good. So give me the ability, and this is just, I don't know if it's a buff or a nerf, but it's just giving the player more control of when do you want this nut to explode. That sounds awful. But make that change. I think Squirrel Girl is good. I think that will give the player more control. And I would pick her, I would play her more. But I think that's, for me, that is the main reason why I don't play her as much, is just because I'm not landing direct shots on a character. I feel like I'm not really getting the value out of her that I want. So, moving on to Spider-Man. In my games that I've played on console, he is banned 80 to 95% of the time. And I think it's because he's annoying, but he also, like, there's a Venom on the team, he can destroy your backline. And right now with Spider-Man, a change that I would probably make: keep the Venom team up. You need to slow down his speed. This guy swings all over the damn place. Like, it is impossible to hit him on controller. It really is. You can't, if you play a good Spider-Man that has good movement, it is impossible to hit this guy. So I think you need to make an adjustment there to his swinging speed. Not only that, but I think he also, his ability to use the swing as often as he can, maybe adjust that a little bit. I don't want to see it go down to one like Venom. No, he's squishier. Give him more. But right now, with how fast it is, he's just able to get in and out so constantly. And he is disruptive right now on console. So that's really the only change I would make to him. Do I find it cheap that he has a one-shot combo with Venom? Yes, but right now, with there not really being much anti-dive options, if you're going to keep that Venom team up, allow players to at least be able to get shots on him out as he's zipping out, because right now his speed is so fast, it's impossible to hit this guy. I don't want it too slow, but it does need to be toned down a little bit. Like, Spider-Man is just way too fast around the map. This guy's zipping throughout the whole freaking arena. Is crazy. Just that adjustment, I think Spider-Man would be in line. Star-Lord, a character who, once he got his buff, man, this guy has been going crazy. His ultimate is good. His team up with Mantis and Adam Warlock is good. His damage is good. His invisibility frames when he does a dash and instantly reloads his guns is good. His AoE is good. Like, it's a character that is really good. And I believe it or not, I really don't want to see a change to Star-Lord because I think there are counters to him. You know, Magneto ult can kind of counter his ult, and you have like good Helas that can hit him in the air. So I think right now Star-Lord's in a good place. If you're going to take away his team up, maybe allow him to do a little bit more damage in his AoE, or maybe allow him to get another, I don't know what it's called, guys, I'm sorry, the invincibility dash, whatever it's called. But I think Star-Lord's in a good place. He's a good character. His team up's really good. He's not picked all the time, at least in my games. I know he was played a lot in Pro League, and also in a lot like the above one all eternity ranks. But Star-Lord is not a character that I would want to see touched right now. Moving off to Storm. This was my favorite character. I loved her when they buffed her. She was amazing. She was fun to play, and then they nerfed her, and now she's not really that good anymore, I would say. She's not bad. You know, in the good, Storm can definitely have impact. But right now, and I mentioned it earlier, the flight speed right now is so slow, even with her ability to increase speed. Actually, I don't know. I think the ability, the speed, I think her speed ability is fine. But I also think right now with how good Hela is, and there's a lot of counterplays. Like, I was probably like last month, and I popped my ult on the backline, and a Psylocke ulted me, and I never knew this. She killed me in my ult. I was like, I didn't know she could do that. So right now, her team up ability with Thor, I actually want that ability to be one of her main abilities. And her main ability right now, which is the one that does like a burst electrocution damage, I actually want that to be the team up, but do a little bit more damage. Because right now, I think the team up with an actual cooldown as one of her main abilities would be good. And not only that, but you know, people really don't pick Thor as much. I think they're leaning more towards the Thing and Strange and Magneto and Groot. And so you don't really get to use that ability as much. So that's the only change I'll make to Storm. I think she's in a good place. I think her ult is fine. I think when you team up her ult with Johnny, which not many people play, I think that's really good as well. But I would say I would want to swap those abilities to make her a little bit more effective, because right now she just usually doesn't do enough damage, especially if you're shooting from far, to really kill any strategist. Right now she's a very good support DPS. It provides a lot of bonuses for your team, DPS, speed, but I would switch those abilities and make her a little bit more powerful. We'll be going to Thor, a character who I've been playing a lot recently. This guy's just fun to play. Like, he's a character who I love to play now. His ability to move around the map is fun. His Rune Awakening is so strong, man. I love it. The only adjustment I would make to Thor right now is just his ultimate. I think it's not very strong. So there's two things you can do. You can speed it up a little bit. So when you pop it, it gives the enemy team less time to react, or you can increase the AoE. If you're going to keep it the same speed, increase the AoE on it. That way it's a larger target and you have a larger kind of radius to land shots. Because right now I think it's a little too easy to get out of his ultimate. And as soon as you land, they're just going to kill you. So those two changes, I think, and Thor will be a little bit better. That's all I would do. Change his ultimate. His team up is very good, which I like because Hela's played so often. The Thor team up is really good. Change his ultimate. I think it'll make him a little bit more viable. Moving on to Venom, a dive character who really good right now. I think a lot of players are really starting to learn Venom and find how valuable he is. His survivability in the back line, he does really good damage. His ultimate is actually really good, and especially if you pair it up with a Rocket Raccoon ultimate, can kill players in support ults. So right now with Venom, I actually wouldn't change anything on him. I think right now he's in a good place. His team up with Spider-Man's good. I think his role right now is perfect. The amount of damage he does is perfect. The amount of times he gets his ult is perfect now since they made the change. I think Venom's in a good place. And I know in this video I said it changed to every character. Venom is the exception in this. I wouldn't touch Venom at all. All right, moving on to Winter Soldier. This character is crazy. You could pick whatever you want to pick. I mean, the freaking damage on his primary fire, which you don't really have to hit the target. The fact that he can do all of his abilities right now and get armor. The ultimate, which is super crazy right now. Whatever you want to pick. I personally would start with two changes with him right now. Right? Like Bucky right now, the fact that he just can cycle through his abilities and get armor all the time, I think that needs to change. Allow him to still get the armor. However, he needs to land the hook. He needs to land the uppercut. He needs to land Hadouken. Then he can get the armor. But just him cycling through the abilities and getting the armor, like, what kind of shit is that? Second change, the ultimate. If you're gonna allow him to continuously use the ultimate, make the AoE on it smaller. Like, it's way too big, and reduce how far he can go. I mean, this guy can go. This guy, let me put it. Does anybody watch football? If you're watching football, I'm gonna try to picture it for you. This guy can go from like the middle field logo to like the 30-yard line. Like, he can go pretty far in his ultimate. So there's two changes I want to see made. If we're gonna allow him to cycle if he kills an enemy, reduce the radius on the AoE, and also don't allow him to go as far. If you're gonna get rid the fact that he can recycle his ultimate, I would probably look at reducing that to 3, maybe 2 or 3. I would say just infinite ults. It's just ridiculous. I mean, Bucky, he's fucking, I don't know, he's meta, he's good, he's broken, and I didn't even mention his team up. The team up is just crazy. Remove the team up. Only give Punisher the Rocket team up. Remove the team up. Make the ult change. Nerf this character. He's just too good. Wolverine, last character. This guy is annoying, and he was a character that a lot of people thought was awful when the game first came out, and boy did that change. Wolverine gets banned in all of my games. He is annoying. The fact that he can grab a tank and kill him super fast is just insane. So for Wolverine, I would say if he's gonna be able to steal enemy tanks, reduce how far he can go, just a little bit, not much, because I still want that to be valuable. And also he shouldn't be able to just straight up do so much damage when he steals an enemy tank that he can basically just kill them one-on-one. If you're gonna steal an enemy tank and take him back to your team, there needs to be like, hey, I'm about to steal this tank. We need to team shot him, kill him. You shouldn't be able to just straight up just take a tank and just slice him to death. Like, it's just insane. If you're gonna make that change, give him a different team up that would kind of supplement that. But right now, I think his ability to just disrupt tanks, steal them, kill them, ultimate is pretty good. This guy needs a nerf. Small nerf. I'm sorry, Wolverine mains. I get it. I know you guys love what you do, but it almost, like, this character, he makes some tanks completely unplayable, like Groot. Like, you can't play a Groot. You can't play Peni. Why would you? You can't play Captain America. Like, you just can't play certain tanks when this guy's on the field. So look at that. Look at that ability to kind of steal tanks, and maybe look at supplementing that with a team up that's on a cooldown. Other than that, that's it for the video. I'm excited for season 2. I'm excited to see what changes are made, buffs, nerfs, team ups. I'm excited for new team ups, excited for a new map, and yeah, that's it for the video. If you enjoyed this one, give it a like. Definitely comment. I want to hear what you feel about my changes, or maybe some of the changes that you want to see made. And don't forget the sub button. I definitely want to do more content in the future. So thanks for watching, and until the next one, peace.